important. Thanks, Dan. So unfortunately today, I'm not going to make you laugh. I'm talking about a serious topic. Today, the majority of homes that we live in are not representative of our value systems, values of ecology, relocalization, and community, and a return to the vibrancy inherent in human life. Instead, we see vast expanses of subdivisions realized through a discarding of the natural systems and an overlay of an orthogonal grid. Globally, we're seeing hyperdense supertower living. These are spaces literally designed as an imposition upon nature, and as a result, as humans, we're becoming increasingly sequestered from nature. Essentially, we're building controlled cages that are isolating us from interaction with our environment. Concurrently, we're seeing dwindling natural resources and escalating climate concerns. Much like a cancer, which replicates unnecessarily and overwhelms the integrity of its host, so are our living systems overwhelming our planet. It's time that we stop and consider new models. Over the past few years, I've had the opportunity to work with a multidisciplinary team realizing a new model for development, a conscious model based in listening to the land and listening to the nature of people. Today, we'll be looking at a 600-acre parcel of land in Durango, Colorado called Twin Buttes. The dark green area of the slide represents acreage that we own, and in the next series, we'll be taking the southern portion and tilting it up so that we can get a more realistic perspective on the parcel. We begin this development model by building a comprehensive natural systems constraints and opportunities map using GIS. We model topography, slope, and vegetation. Here, red represents areas of the site where development can't occur without major incursion. We consider solar access, purple being areas that are not optimal for passive or active solar design. We model drainage and floodplain, and even wildlife habitat and movement corridors. When we layer these, we realize that there are certain portions of the site that are optimal for development with minimal environmental impact. What we also find is that by clustering development here, we're able to realize 4 acres of permanently dedicated public open space for every 1 acre of land that we develop. Ultimately, Twin Buttes will have 600 homes and 180,000 square feet of commercial space on just 180 acres with minimal impact to the considered environment. So now that we have the general footprint of our neighborhood defined, we begin layering in human systems or non-traditional amenities. We've considered connectivity with multimodal paths throughout the neighborhood and connecting to the denser downtown urban core, as well as transit integration. We've completed an environmental economic assessment where we directly correlate the sustainable attributes of both the community and the homes within it to economic savings for the households. We've held community meetings and done research so that we can develop an embedded affordable housing program that's particularly suited for this community. Bringing it to a home level, we have sustainability mandates and guidelines, including HERS requirements, a locally tuned green building checklist, and solar access controls. Our agricultural plan includes acres of small commercial farms and community gardens dispersed throughout the neighborhood and developed with permacultural tenets. And in the first year alone, we've been able to harvest over 600 pounds of organic veg from a half-acre test garden. We've also considered the interweaving of densities and uses to both establish and encourage a long-term convivial, inviting, and interactive community. So how can we realize a synergistic vision such as this? That's where you all come in. Every single person in the audience lives in a home of some sort, whether you rent or own. Even the seemingly ubiquitous automobile only enjoys an 89% owner/lease segment in America. Essentially, in marketing terms, a 100% market segment is virtually unheard of until you consider the home, which means that since we live in a capitalistic society, you have the power. Can it really work at this scale if we start considering the home not as an ATM, but acting as active and demanding consumers? Well, back to the car, in the past few years, empowered consumers have caused both wait lists for the Prius and helped to ring the death bell for the Hummer. Remember that this will be the largest expense in your life, housing. So act like it. Do research. Take your time. I'd like to challenge you to purchase a home not based on its perceived market value, but based on your values. Essentially, live your values. Make it count. Thank you.